Hi, it's me, Sarah from Someday Sarah. This is a tutorial on how to make my crochet skull doily. I usually use thinner crochet thread. So this here is actually what I'm going to do it in because it's a little bit thicker and easier to see. This is the dollar store cotton thread that they sell, and I'll do that with a number 2. When you're done, you're going to need to sew in your ends, and I have this very small darning needle that I use. It's got kind of a blunt end so it doesn't split the thread, and a pair of scissors. So that's your final thing that we're going for. I'll put that aside and we'll start. So I begin by making the magic ring, so just wrapping it around a finger so that you have a loop that goes in the back like that. So you pull through, and then you go 1, 2, 3. So that first chain up is going to count as our first double crochet, and we're going to make 7 more. So that makes a total of 8. Double check that. I did 1 extra. Just pop 1 out. So what we're doing is we're making the top half of the skull, so the head. So it goes, we just did this first round, and now we're going to do another one that way. So we go up a row by chaining 1. I like to chain 2 there, not 3. It's a preference for me because I don't want the space to be too big or it might leave a hole in his skull. So then I go back and I'm going to do another double crochet at the base of that one. So immediately beside where I went up. And now 2 double crochets in each of the next 7 stitches. Okay, so now we've got 16. So that doesn't quite look like what we're going for. What we need to do now is pull tight the original magic ring, which will pull the center together like that. Okay. So from here, we're going to do across the flat side of that half moon shape, and we're going to do a chain up and then 2 single crochets in each of the next 2 double crochets in the side of them, and that brings us back to the middle. Now we're in the middle, so we're going to go into where we did that magic ring, right in there, if I didn't pull it too tight. There we go, for a single crochet. And now we'll do 2 more single crochets on this side through the sides of each of the double crochets that we worked on each row. I take this tail, I lay it across where I'm going so that I can work it in to the side. Just helps keep it in place. So 1, 2 single crochets in that stitch, and then 1, 2 single crochets in that stitch. Okay, so the next step that we need to do is to do the sides of the eyes and then under the eyes. So each side has 2 double crochets together. So we start with a chain 2, 1, 2, and then we do a double crochet into the base of that chain, and we're going to chain 4 across. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to skip 3, 1, 2, 3, and do a single crochet into the middle one. There we go. We chain 4 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we're going to do 2 double crochets together in the 4th stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the 4th stitch. All right, so now we've got the base of the eyes in. So we're going to turn. From here we're going to go under the eye and we're going to do 4 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to make a chain and then do another 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that part makes the nose in there. Okay. So for the next stitch, we're going to go up 2, turn, do a half double crochet into the next stitch, not the same base, the next one. Oops. Second, stretch that out. That's that one. That one. There we go. A half double crochet in that one. We're going to make a chain. We're going to skip a stitch, do another half double crochet. So that's just to the side of the nose. You see the nose is there, it's to the side of it. 1 more chain, and then another half double crochet. We're going to skip one on the other side of the nose. And then a chain, we'll skip one, and then we're going to do 2 half double crochets. There's one, oops, to get the other half of that stitch. If you don't get both sides of the stitch, the front and the back loop, then you end up with a very loose stitch that can make little holes where you don't necessarily want them. There you go. So that is the first row of teeth. All right, now we're going to do chain 2, a half double crochet, chain, skip a space above the other space and go into the top of the half double crochet from the previous row. We're going to line up some teeth here, and then chain, skip a space, so skip that previous chain and go into the next half double crochet. There we go. One more chain, and we'll do 2 half double crochets. We'll skip that chain. There's one, and the second one would be the end of the previous chain 2, so a little more difficult to find it. There's half of it, and there's the other half. There we go. So now you see your teeth, and we're going to chain to turn, and we're going to jump. We're not going to do a stitch in that end stitch. You're going to jump to the second half double crochet here, not the first one, and do a single crochet. And the single crochet in the gap, a single crochet in the half double crochet, in the gap, in the half double crochet, and by gap I mean chain space. You have to pull it apart to see it. There we go. And then one more in that half double crochet. There's 2 at the end there. We're only going to do 1 stitch. And then that part of the chin is done. All right. So there's our skeleton. And we're going to start just like that. Now from this part on, we start coming down and working our way around like this. So we're going to start by this little line coming down off of his chin and down. So in order to do that, we need to slip stitch back 1. So we're coming from there, we're going to slip a stitch back into there. And then we can chain 1, 2, 3. We're going to turn, and we're going to make, let me just turn this the same direction. What we're going to make right now is this loop right here. So it goes, there's a chain 4, and then there's a treble crochet underneath it, or triple crochet. So we're going to say, go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you wrap twice. And go back 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to go into that top stitch, top loop, and back loop. That's how I like to do it. It's easier to grab. and do that treble crochet. And so what that does is it puts a little loop on the end of a tail. Our next stitch is going to go into the side of his jaw over here, at the bottom of his teeth. So that's a double crochet into here. Nope, that pulled it away a bit too much. Made his jaw look funky. So I'm going to try again and make it so I'm not stretching out his mouth. There we go. That's a double crochet. Okay, so what we're going to do is repeat those segments with the loop all the way around the whole head. Because the jaw is further away, we're going to do, on this stitch, we're going to do a treble crochet. So, first we have to do the loop. Okay, so we need 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a treble crochet. What I like to do right here, hopefully you can see the stitch, I do a loop from there and a loop from that stitch. So those two. It's kind of like a side of the base to attach them. 1, 2, and 3. That makes a loop. So now we're going to do a treble back to the skull, right in his lower cheekbone, upper jaw, somewhere in there, and go 1, 2, 3. Then we do our next loop up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then treble back into the base. That and that loop. Go 1, 2, 3, and there. Okay, so the next one that I like to do is above, just above his eye, and that's a double crochet. There. And now again a loop, so that's chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a treble crochet into the base. 1, 2, 3, and then 4. A double crochet. So what here I do is I skip 2 stitches and I go into this one, which is actually the 4th stitch of that rounded part. The first stitch got buried in double crochets. Sorry, got buried in single crochets right here. So there's 1 in there, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and now we go another loop up. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a treble crochet back into the base. Okay, double crochet into the 1, 2, 3, third one over, another loop, 2, 3, 4 chain, treble crochet in the base of that one. Oops, I dropped it. Let's try that again. 1, 2. There we go. Now we're gonna skip a 4 for the top of his head. See how I've got this nice fan at the top of his head? I like that to be as centered as possible. So we'll skip 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and go in over here with a double crochet. There we go. Now we need another loop. So we chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then treble crochet back into the base. The first time I ever did this kind of stitch, I didn't know what I was making. I realize now it's basically 2 lines of stitches going to the same place at the same time. One's a chain and one's a triple crochet. Now we're going to skip 2 stitches. 1, 2, and do a double crochet into the side of his head. Now we're going to make another loop. 1, 2, 3, 4, a treble crochet in the base, a double crochet. We're going to skip 2 and go into above his eye. Oops. These don't have to be precise. You just want to be well spaced. You want to have them as symmetrical as you can. I like when things are symmetrical. And you want to try not to pull apart some stitches that you want to have look like a solid piece of his face. All right, there's a double crochet into the side above his eye. And we'll go 1, 2, 3, chain 4, treble crochet into the base, and this is a treble crochet into the top of his jaw. 1, 2, 3. There we go. And we go chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, treble crochet into the base of that stitch. And we're making loops all the way around so that we can attach the fans to the loops. So the next one is going to go to the side of his bottom teeth. We'll do a double crochet into there, catch 2 loops, and there we go. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a treble crochet into the base of that. Uh-oh, caught some, okay, try again. There we go. And then a double crochet to match the first one on this side of his chin. Oh, I'm off the screen. In there. Hopefully I wasn't off for a long time. That's a double crochet. And we've gotten back to the beginning, so we need 1 more loop. So we'll do chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a treble into the base. And now we're going to slip into, it would have been the 3rd chain up where we started. So slip into there, then slip into the first open loop there, into the top. We want to work into the top of it. And then we're going to do a single crochet at the top, followed by a chain, and then we're going to do 11 double crochets into the next big open loop, right into it. So to show you on here at the bottom, we just slipped into that loop right there, and then we did a chain space, and then we're going to do 11 double crochets. That's 11, I believe, but I will count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Perfect. Okay, so at the end of the 11 double crochets, we're going to chain 1 and then single crochet into the top of the next loop. And then chain 1 and then do 11 more double crochets. So I'm going to put this down for a second. What we're going to do next is fans of 11 followed by a chain, a single crochet, a chain, and then another fan. So on the final round, you're going to have 6 fans with a chain, single crochet, chain between each one using the loops in between. So you'll have a fan on the top and the bottom and then 2 on the sides. I'll come back when I'm at the bottom. Okay. Hi, I'm back. I went all the way around with 6 different sets of fans in each of those spots that I talked about. Now I am back on this side and I'm at the bottom. Got to join to the previous row. So remember, between each space is a chain, a single, and another chain. So we'll have to do, after those 11 double crochets, a chain, and then we are going to slip stitch into the original join that we had over here. So then that will make it be the same as the rest. It's a little hard to get into, but there it is. Okay. Now we're going to slip into the space that was the chain before the next fan. We'll slip into there. And then we're going to slip into the top of the first double crochet. And that takes us to the beginning of the next round. So I'll show you on this one here what the next round looks like. The next round is all of these kind of pinwheels. And what they are is a double crochet, then you're going to skip a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, skip, chain 2, double crochet, all the way around, so that each fan ends up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 double crochets with 5 chain spaces. When we get to the end of that fan, then we go immediately into the next fan with the first double crochet for that one. So I'll start. So I'm going to begin with a chain up. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, and then the next part is chain 2 over. So 1, 2. So that's actually 5 chains, but you're going to picture it like that. Now we'll do the next double crochet. So we skip one spot and then a double crochet and chain 2 and then a double crochet, chain 2, skip a spot, then a double crochet, chain 2, skip a spot, double crochet in the next one, chain 2, skip that one and put it into there. All right, so now we've come up to the end of the first fan. See right there? And we want to get into the next fan. So what we're going to do is we're not going to touch these stitches in between. We're going to skip all those and just go right into doing a double crochet into the first double crochet of that fan. And then we chain 2, skip a stitch, double crochet. All right, we'll take a break here. I'm going to continue working around all of those till I come back to here, and then I'll tell you how to connect it. All right, I'm coming back around to the beginning of where I started that round, and I'll just finish it off and then I'll show you how to begin the next round. So I've got a double crochet, 2 chains. We're on the very last fan of the previous round here. 2 chains, double crochet, two chains, and this is the last one. All right, so we can see if we look at how all the other sides meet. So if that's a fan, and they meet in this upside down V shape. So we want that to be similar over here. You remember we did 3 chain up and then 2 across at the beginning? We want to find the third up. 1, 2, 3, and then slip into that one. Can be a little finicky when you have very thin thread. I got one side, the other side, and slip a stitch right there. All right. So that round is done. We'll go back to the original and see what we're going to do next. The next round is our last round. We're going to make these like flower petals on each of the spaces, on each of the chain spaces, all the way around until we're done. So this little petal here is a single crochet, a half double crochet, a double crochet, a half double crochet, and then a single crochet. And then we jump into the next space and continue over and over until we get back to the beginning again. So I'll do a couple just to show you what I'm talking about. So in the chain space, we go single crochet, half double crochet, so pull through all 3, double crochet, half double crochet again, pulling through all 3, and then single crochet. And to move to the next space, we repeat it. Single crochet, half double crochet, double crochet, half double crochet, and then single crochet. So when we get to this part where the two fans meet, we just jump right over to the next chain space. We ignore that. So we have a chain space and then a chain space. We do not work into that. I'll come back in a second when I'm right there. Okay, so I'm on my last single crochet of the last flower petal of that fan. So there's the single crochet. So we've done 5 petals, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're just going to jump right over that upside down V, pretend it's not there, and go to the next petal. So that's the first chain space of the next 5. So single crochet, half double crochet, double crochet, half double crochet, and then single crochet. So we're going to keep going in every single chain space all the way around until we get back here. So it'll look like that. I'll come back when I'm at the end to tie off. I'm on the very last chain space, so the very last flower petal before I meet back to the other side. So we'll do the last single crochet, half double crochet, double crochet, half double crochet, single crochet, and now we're going to slip into the very beginning where we started, over here. Gonna pull that through, cut the yarn, pull that all the way through, pull it tight. All right, so now that is done. Same as that one. We're gonna have to sew in those ends. So with our little needle, so this needle is smaller than a regular darning needle. It's like when you get a kit of 2, this is the smaller one. There we go, my thread's split up a bit. Okay. And when I'm sewing in my ends, I find a bunch of spots. Oopsie. I find a bunch of loops of where I've done a bunch of single crochets in a row. It's an easy place to hide the thread. So I can go all the way across there to tuck that in. So this is my starting thread. Can cut that off. And then my ending thread. We can go right through the base of the flowers that I finished. Got some nice tight loops there. cut off, and all done.